All right, all right, all right. Gonna check the audio, see if it's coming through okay before we get started. I gotta be sure. Come on. Come on, YouTube. Catch up to me. Still not there. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. YouTube, it's not coming through YouTube. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, there we go. See? Yes. Okay, cool. It's working. There's always a several second delay from when I hit the button to go live and YouTube actually starts broadcasting, and I want to make sure that the audio is coming through before I mute it and just start paying attention to you guys. And that's hard to do when YouTube's trailing behind. But anyway, let's check and see who's all in the house tonight. Manuel, of course, is in the house. Says, good evening, my friend Drew. Happy Saturday night. Welcome, my friend. Sarah's here. Says, hello. Happy muggy Saturday night from Connecticut. Oh, boy. Manuel says hello to Sarah. Dave says hello to Manuel. Manuel says hello to Dave. Sarah says, I got good news the other night. I'm going to be a great aunt in January. Well, fantastic. That's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Dave says hello to Sarah. BB's here. Says hello, folks. Welcome to the show. Sarah says hi to Dave and Manuel. Manuel says hi to BB. B. Bernie B says hi, Drew from Long Beach, California. Welcome again to the show. BB says prayers for President Trump assassination attempt today. He is okay, but was hit. Yes, I did see that. Actually, my mother-in-law came into the room and told us about it and had not been paying attention to the news today. So that's kind of crazy. But I hope they got the would-be assassin and beat the shit out of him. But probably not, but hopefully they caught him. Sarah says, good evening, Drew and Avery. I did send Avery an invite. If he can come, he'll be here, I know. Manuel says, wow, awesome, Sarah. Congratulations, you becoming a great aunt. Sarah says, yeah, I heard about Trump. BB says hello to Manuel. BB says, congrats to Sarah. Sarah says, also Richard Simmons died. Yes, I saw that too. 76 years old. I remember I knew of him back in the 80s and 90s because my mom liked him, or she liked watching. I don't know if she actually exercised his videos or not. I don't think she did, but I was aware of him through her. So, but yeah, that was pretty sad to hear. I believe it was from natural causes. So 76, that's up there, but wow. Sarah says, thanks to BB and thanks to Manuel. Hitomi is here, says hello, Drew, and good evening. Good day from Japan. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Manuel says, yes, I watched the news. Trump, he is okay. Sarah says, oh, Drew, where are you? I was running late. I know. Actually, I'll tell you why I'm running late. When I work at the store, I have a couple of different Excel sheets that I keep my inventory on, whether it be the comics or anything else that's in the store. And I completely forgot to bring my inventory drive, which is just a USB drive, to the store. So I had to use the copy that was on my computer at the store, which of course is a week out of date because I've added stuff over the week. And I didn't have a drive to download today's sales to bring it home to update the inventory. So I literally had to bring the whole computer home, which I did. And I was screwing around with the computer right before I looked up and saw it said 7:59. And I'm like, So that's why I'm late, because I was screwing around with the computer. Manuel says hello to Hitomi. Burst says hello to everybody. Welcome to the show, Burst. BB says hi to Drew. Hitomi says hi to Manuel. Glenn says one. One what? Maybe he was doing a countdown for how late I was. Manuel says hello to Glenn. Darlene says hi to everybody. Manuel says to B. Bernie B, happy Saturday. Glenn says hit the like. Yes, of course. Hit the like if you can. Manuel says hello to Darlene. Finn's here. Finn says howdy everybody. Should be thankful tonight. Trump is safe. Yes. I was actually kind of shocked that in all the years that he was in office, and this goes for Biden as well. Why don't we hear about assassination attempts? I remember a time in history where that was a common thing, whether it be in our country or in other countries. Assassination attempts were very common. At least I remember them being common. And nowadays, maybe security is so much better that they stop things before they even get close to happening. But you'd think, honestly, with all the crazy people out there on both sides of the spectrum, that this kind of stuff didn't happen more often. You know what I mean? All right, no more politics talk. We're done, unless it comes up in a comment. Hey, Tommy says, congratulations to Sarah. Darlene says, gunman, and a bystander are dead. Oh, goodness. Shooter is dead. Okay. Well, see, I haven't heard any of the news other than the fact that it happened. So I appreciate the update, guys. Dave says the shooter is dead. Okay. Sarah says they caught the guy. Well, caught is a rather loose term at this point. Freebirds here says attempted assassin was killed, and one of the attendees is dead. Oh, goodness. BB says, and also heard from Ruth Westmere, I think that's her name, died as well. Ruth Westmere. That name doesn't sound familiar. We may have to dig into that. Sarah says, didn't know how he died. If you're talking about Richard Simmons, Russell Simmons, totally different person. The article I read said he was found, and EMS declared it as being of natural causes, even though supposedly he had been diagnosed with cancer, I think skin cancer. But they do not believe that's what he died from. So, but 76, I mean, that's up there. But I'm pretty sure he was still a fairly healthy person, being a fitness guy. But we'll see. Manuel says hello to Freebird. Freebird says, sorry, one attendee was killed. Yep, we got that. Tattle says, I asked the scammer to speak to someone smarter. He said, no one is here. I said, I hear other voices in the background. Why did you lie to me? And he hung up. I love it when you say that and how they react. By the way, guys, the video that's coming tomorrow is some audio recordings. I literally got 3 in a row. The orthopedic supply scammers calling about a back brace. The first guy identified that he was calling from CVS. The second guy said he was calling from Walgreens. And then the third guy said he was calling from orthopedic specialist or whatever. And I'm like, is that the only script you guys, is that the only calls you guys are making today? Because I got 3 in a row and I was shocked. But that was it. And then the call stopped after that. But they're rather funny. They were rather funny because of course I get to ask them. So wait a minute. CVS just called me. Does Walgreens have a better back brace than CVS? I mean, if so, I need to go cancel my CVS order. These guys are so dumb, and they're so much fun to play with. BB says, hit the like button. Yes, please do. Manuel says, you still working at the store, my friend Drew? Oh, yeah. Saturdays and Sundays are usually my days. I usually go there during the week to do some work. Like this week, our big project, when I first took over the space that I'm currently in, I built a wall in the back of the store, kind of giving myself a storage area behind the wall. And I had just shoved crap behind there for the longest time. So our goal this week was to clean out and organize all the crap that was behind that wall. We did half of it. And when we put everything back, we just crapped it right back up again. But I did throw out like 4 bags of trash, taking stuff that was just lying back there and just got in the way, Fred's here. Fred says they shot Trump? ? Yes, there was an assassination attempt on Trump earlier today, from what we understand. He's okay, but the person who did the shooting is dead, from what we've heard so far. Joe's here. Says hello, everyone. Welcome, Joe. Welcome to the show. Glenn says one audio. Okay, perfect. I have learned to don't just start the show without checking the audio first, because you guys know there was at least that one time, and there might have been more, where I go on chit chatting with you guys, talking and talking, and all of a sudden I've got the mute button on and don't realize it. You know what? I forgot to turn on the on air light. I better turn that on real quick. Fred says H. Okay. Tim's here. Hey, Tim says, good evening, all from Western Kentucky. Welcome to the show, Tim. Amanda's here. Hey, Amanda says, hey, you're definitely going to want to hear this one. Hubby had a call from one of the accident claim scammers. He told the scammer that they had already spoken to an attorney and was expecting a call. Wait a minute. He told the scammer he had already spoken to an attorney and was expecting a call. Very good. Very good. You know what I always find funny is I actually was in a small fender bender accident. Um, was it the end of last year? But it wasn't one that nobody was hurt. There was no compensation needed. But the accident helpline people were calling me well before that accident ever happened. And I hadn't been in an accident in forever, so I don't know how they got my number, but I'm so glad they call. I I think you guys may have heard my call today. There was a accident helpline guy who said some rather mean things about my that he wanted to do with my mother. You know, that's what they are. That's what those people are really like. So never think that they're calling to actually help you. They're actually vile, disgusting people, and you should waste their time and yell at them and screw with them and just be as nasty as you want, because they're not really good people. They say they're calling to help you, but they're not. They are absolutely not. BB says to Freebird, yes, I did hear someone at the rally was killed. Prayers to the family. So sad. Sarah says, thanks to Hitomi. Manuel says hello to Joe. Manuel says hello to Amanda. Darlene says the teleprompter got hit and the glass hit Trump. Okay. So the guy hit the teleprompter. I wonder, I'm sure there's got to be video out there, because if he was in front of the teleprompter, somebody out there was recording it. So I'd be very interesting to see what transpired. So like I said, now that I know it's happened and I'm getting reconnected to the real world, now that I got home, and I'll have to look into it and see what else we can find out. But that's pretty scary, guys. BB says, Drew, I do remember hearing about a few attempts on Trump. I don't remember hearing any attempts, or nothing that came close enough that there was a bullet involved. You know what I mean? But I'm sure something happened that they stopped and we haven't heard about. But this is probably the closest it's ever come, and that's kind of scary. Tim says, I just was on the outdoors with the Morgans. He was at the rally. Oh boy. Manuel says, hi to Tim. Happy Saturday. Joe says hello to Manuel. BB says, Darlene, that makes sense about the shooting. Manuel says, Dr. Ruth, she died today. Dr. Ruth died today? No. Really? Oh, that's sad. Oh, okay. I know Dr. Ruth. Okay. Jeez. I don't know her personally. You know what I mean. Amanda says, about the compensation. Then the scammers laughed and started cursing him out. Tell them to go do his mom or something. So they are definitely not trying to help anybody. There you go. There you go. Oh, ADY's here. Hey, he says, hey, Drew and gang from the UK. Good morning. Welcome, sir. Welcome. ADY says hello to Manuel. Aaron V is here. Says, hi, Drew. Welcome to the show. You know, I didn't turn on the music. I just realized there's no music here. All right, I'll get to it eventually. Let me catch up on the channel. I'm almost caught up. Manuel says, hey to ADY. And hello to Aaron. Oh, ADY says, Drew, I watched your video from Thursday. It was funny as chit. Yes. Thursday, if that's the one about the Medicare, the new Medicare card, you know what's so funny is during the call, I was just trying to waste his time, right? And I asked him, I said, so if I ever did lose the card, who do I call? And he says, well, you can call Medicare. I says, well, do you have the number? And I waited while he Googled it, of course. And I grabbed the other phone. So I actually had to Google it myself. You might have been hearing me clicking the keyboards, because when he's giving me the number, I'm not writing it down. I could care less, I'm recording it anyway. But I was like, oh, well, let me call him real quick. Yeah, let's get so great. That's so much fun doing that to them. But they're full of crap. Tattle says, auto scammers called my DNC number with American accent, knew my name, claimed in California, but my caller ID was New York. I questioned his integrity and I questioned her integrity, and she hung up, tried to call it back and got a number not in service. There you go. There you go. That is the normal MO of a scammer. Call when they're not supposed to, claim, and then when you try calling them back and the numbers they called, they lie about where they're calling from. And when you try to call them back, heaven forbid, you either get some old lady in Indiana or you get a disconnected number. So very, very similar. Not the disconnected and the old lady in Indiana, but it's definitely their MO. That's the scammer MO. Manuel says, hi to Tattle. Hey, Bill's here. Hey, Bill, how's it going? Says, been a while. Well, welcome back, Bill. Appreciate you coming in. Hitomi says, I guess these scammers don't have any new scripts. No. You know what's so funny? You guys know how my channel, this particular channel, used to be an everything channel where I would put up Lego reviews and comic reviews and drawings, and I just threw everything in the kitchen sink at this channel until something clicked. And the thing that clicked, of course, was the scam videos. While I was going through trying to clean out some of the older videos that were still showing up on the channel, just unlisting them, not deleting them or anything, because I may want to publish them again sometime later. So to have them where I could download them is a good thing. But I was going through and I went back and I have scam videos that go all the way back to like 2018. And I so much want to go back to some of those older ones and just do like a side-by-side comparison on, quite frankly, how the script has not changed. It's been 6 years since I started recording videos, and their scripts really, really haven't changed. They say the same damn things. They read the same damn things. They literally think we are so dumb that their scripts will work on anybody, anytime. And what's still crazy about that whole situation is from what I'm describing to you, is I've been screwing with them for 6 years and they're still calling me. They're still calling me every day, except Sundays, of course. They're still calling. Bless their heart. Bless their heart. Manuel says, or Amanda says, hey to Manuel. Manuel says, I watched your video this morning. Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. He says, my friend Drew, I thought you retired from work. Well, I retired from one job. I literally had 4 different jobs, and I retired from one of them. So now technically I have 3. I have my YouTube channel, which is still very important to me. I have my store, which is my weekend job. And the one job that I kind of swept under the rug and kind of pushed down to the very bottom of my to-do list was my art and my books. I always say the artist known as Andrew when I introduce myself is because I've been drawing comics for, God, when was Cornerstone originally published? 1998, I think. Coming up on like 30 years now. But I really want to get back to it. And trust me, you guys will be some of the first people that know. As soon as I have something to show people once again, whether it's books or illustrations, you guys are going to be the first ones to show, because I hope you guys like it. I have a lot of fun doing it, or I did have a lot of fun doing it. I'm glad I'm now getting back to it. I now am taking the time to get back to it. So more coming. Christina's here, says, hello all. Welcome to the show, Christina. Welcome back. Manuel says hello to Christina. Glenn says, ask them if they are into necrophilia because they will need to shovel to dig her up. There you go. I've told some scammers in the past that my mother's no longer with us, which is not true. My mom is very alive and well, and she's wonderful. Pain in my ass, but still wonderful. But I tell them that she's gone, and they don't seem to care. So gross people. Burr says, when they tell me they're going to F my mother, I always ask if they're in love with bodies 6 feet under for 20 years. Oh, it's gross. Very good. Very good. BB says, that's who I meant. Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Was that West? I can't remember her. She was known as Dr. Ruth. And I honestly, if you asked me, if you put a gun to my head, I would not be able to tell you what her last name was. So All right. Well, that is kind of sad. Clifford's here. Hey, Drew, and everyone, he says. Welcome, Clifford. Manuel says, hey to Clifford. AADY says Medicare card one. Okay. Yep. I had a lot of fun with that one. I especially the fact that I kept him on the phone for over 15 minutes, which was great because makes for a good video if it's long and has lots of pieces to it. But the funny part is everything they say is so filled with holes that you can just just blow holes in their story and just make fun of them, and it's a lot of fun. Love Scam Bait says hello to everyone. Welcome to the show. Manuel says hello to Loves. Burr says hello to Loves. Darlene says a few years ago, someone tried to accuse me of an accident, and she was parked 6 cars away. I took pictures of her car and I showed my insurance. No damage. Laugh out loud. Oh boy. That's scary when somebody wants to call and try to claim you involved with something. Well, it's good that you were able to prove and your insurance company backed you. That's a good thing. Tank's here. Hey, Tank, how's it going? Ahoy, all. You sagacious scallywags. Sagacious scallywags. I think he's doing that just to screw with me. But welcome, Tank. Welcome to the show. Manuel says hello to Births and hello to Bill Fisherman. Welcome back. Burr says hey to Manuel. Christina says, I told them I got a new plastic purple and gold Medicare card. Is that the one they meant? That's good. That's good. ADY says Social Security Administration ones in 2018. Oh yeah, I've got some of those. I don't know which was the oldest video I have because some of them were kind of crappy. Some of the earlier ones that I had done, so I unlisted them. So not my oldest, but yeah, they're up there. Tank says you really should have a second channel. Use Comic Nerds Miss You. Well, I do have the second channel, and I'm working on it. I did put up one video recently. It was the illustration for Crom that I'm working on. I did put up that one video. That's part one of probably a 2 or 3 parter, depending on how long it takes me to finish that illustration. But I've got plans for bringing back more stuff to the comic channel. So thank you, Tank, for the shout out on that. Bill says Barrow missed us by 80 miles. I honestly didn't even realize Barrow was out there until they were talking about it on the news, how it was going up in the Texas area. It's like, well, we got some rain, but that was it. So we were okay with it. Manuel says hello to Tank. ADY says, I got your scam bait in June 2018, Drew. Yep. They're out there. Tank says, ahoy, Manuel. Clifford says, it's funny how the only ones who will fall for their scams soon are people with dementia and whatnot and need to keep getting the word out that no one of sound mind goes for it. My mother-in-law, I always bring her up as an example. She has very much a sharp mind, but you can panic her. You can make her worried. You can scare her. And that's what gets her every time because, there have been several times where she's gotten calls or messages and so forth where there's just enough doubt in her mind that she'll say, hey, Andrew, look at this first before I do anything. And I'm like, it's a scam. Trust me, it's a scam. And especially the ones that say your bill is past due or they couldn't bill for something, she gets very, very panicky when she gets something that says that something is not paid. That panics her. And I don't know if that's something that everybody has, but once they find that one thing, they're going to try it over and over and over again, which is sad. But yeah, get the word out to anybody you can. Don't answer your phone because that's all they do is call. ADY says, yo, Bill, long time no see. You were very lucky with a close shave. Tank says, dude, that's a great news. Oh, yes. There's also stuff relating to the store that I need to start putting there on a regular basis. And something that I saw somebody else do that made me go, why am I not doing that? And that's the shorts and putting shorts on the comic channel for whether it's drawing or new books or new anything that's coming to the store, doing a short video. So those are going to be definitely in the works. BB says a smiley face to Glenn. ADY says my mom passed away 11 years ago, but they don't give a crap. No, they don't. Darlene says the jury service was canceled. My jury service was canceled. I don't have to report to the courthouse on Monday. Well, good, good. Burr says I have a question. Recently, we've been getting a lot of. Got cut off there. ADUI says it's a scam, Darlene. Laugh out loud. Burr says I've been getting a lot of upgrade my Medicare, and I want to know what kind of questions can I give them to see how much they really know about Medicare in the U.S. Well, let's see. There's two things about the Medicare ones. Sometimes they actually do transfer you to a real Medicare agent. But a lot of times when they do that, they're listening in for the information the personal information that you're going to give Medicare. One of the things you can always do, and I found this to be true with almost anything, somebody calls you claiming to be from Medicare, your credit card company, whatever. Tell them, I'd prefer to call them directly. What is the telephone number to call them directly? And see what they give you. Now, when on that Medicare new card Medicare call, that guy actually did give me the Medicare number, the 800 number for Medicare, which I Googled after the fact, and yep, there it is, right there. Right, they actually gave me the real one. But if you have questions about anything, whether we're getting a emergency alert, extreme missing endangered adult. Okay, sorry, that doesn't do us right now. So I just ignore it. But as I was saying, I forgot what I was saying. Goodness gracious, sorry. Needless to say, if you ever have a question about a caller, they're calling, they're saying, I'm calling from Medicare, I'm calling from your credit card company, whatever. You don't have to talk to them. You don't have to give them any information whatsoever. You can say something like, can you please give me the number so that I can call Medicare directly? And if they're not willing to do it, that should be suspicious to you. If they're not willing to help you reach out to Medicare or to your credit card company or on your own, at your own time, your own leisure, and without them on the line, that would be suspicious. Okay. But there are Medicare Advantage plans out there that they're constantly trying to sell, but the scammers will use that information. The fact that there are additional plans that you can purchase or you can get for your Medicare that they're trying to use as their excuse to get your personal information. So, what kind of questions to give? Simply ask them, "What's the Medicare number that I can call them directly?" Try that and see what kind of information they give you, whether or not they still want to transfer you, and so forth. So, just know anybody out there that has Medicare or anything like that, you can call Medicare directly. You can reach out to them at their honest to goodness, truthful number. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. You don't have to believe these people calling you. That's the scary part. Not all of them. They're bad people in some cases. Very, very bad people. Tank says, shrewd discerning, sag a shush. Okay. I honestly thought, Tank, I thought you were making up a word. But thank you. Tattle says, I ask scammers who want to bleep my mother if they're necrophiliacs. They don't know what that means. Yeah, I almost guarantee that's true. Bill says, was there an attempt to assassinate Trump? Yes, there was. We've heard that happen today. Darlene says, lady was nuts. She called the police, had to give a statement to him. Oh, boy. Glenn says, what if they ask what color your Medicare card is and you tell them that you don't know because you are colorblind? Hey, that's always a possibility. Tank says, LOL to Glenn. Bill says, ADY for sure. Darlene says, say yes to Bill. Tarkorf is here, says, think of telling a senior supervisor, I don't know if I still have Part A and B. Last month was told Medicare card being replaced, so I threw out the red, white, and blue one. Actually, you know what's so funny? One of the guys I got a call from today for the orthopedic supply scam, the back brace scam, actually at one point asked me if I'd gotten my new Medicare card, and I'm like, whoa, are you mixing up your scripts? Are you forgetting which scam you're actually working? He didn't catch on to that, but I did ask him that. So it's going to be funny. Manuel says, hi, Ed Tarkov. Hitomi says, too sad that of all the people that are being targeted by the scammers, well, it's the same here in Japan. Really? You guys get the same type of calls? Crazy. Well, I'm sure scamming is international. I mean, they're going to attack anybody, anybody and everybody. But the U.S. is probably one of their biggest targets, followed by Europe and Canada and so forth. But wow. Sarah says, you should see my son's animated drawings. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Burst says, I want to ask before they transfer so I can screw with them. Good, good. ADY says, or call yourself a fake name. Well, I do that all the time. Christina says, they are scamming in Japan too. Burst says, I never talk on my phone. I use the text now number. Okay. Clifford says, we don't have separate health cares for the elderly up here in Canada, so the scammers have to resort to tax scams and other scams. Well, that's because your health care covers everybody, not just the elderly. So in the US, they have a very, very easy target. It's kind of sad, but it's true. Sarah says, I guess no Avery tonight. Yeah, well, I did send him an invite, but he might be playing video games. It does happen. ADY says, I got some parcel from AliExpress, and they got 2 emails saying the parcel was unable to be delivered, and it's not the real parcel. They traced the orders. My mother-in-law has been getting a lot of those texts where it says you're from the USPS, which is the United States Postal Service, saying we have a shipment for you, but we can't deliver because the address is wrong. Well, then how did you get our text? How did you get her phone number to text her? Really weird, huh? Really, really weird. But she's like, should I click on the link? Absolutely not. You don't click on those links. They're no good. Darlene says, I know your local Medicare number. I have been into the office. I know our local Medicaid number. I've been to the office several times. My youngest son is on disability. There you go. There you go. Knowing and having that information is good because trust me, they're not going to know it. Glenn says, did you get the email with cat pictures? Did you get my email with cat pictures? I'll have to double check. I don't think so. When did you send it? ADY says, it's massive. UK, he says. Okay. Sarah says, good one, Glenn. ADY says, Canada is the same health system as the UK. Burr says, Darlene, if your son is on disability, have you contact Social Security office? They should be able to help you navigate Medicaid. Well, she says she's been to the office before. She's probably got that under control. But Bill says, pity the fool that tries to assassinate any of our presidents. And Burr says, they helped me. Okay, very good. All right. Well, now, hey, I caught up in the chat. It only took 33 minutes. Give me just a quick second. I need to have some water. Ah, that's good. That's good. Oh, so I have a funny thing. On my last 2 trips, I listened to a lot of stand-up comedy on the XM radio while I was in the car, and I'm always thinking to myself, I can do stuff like that. I know I can't. I know I can't, but I like telling stories. I like telling stories about stupid things that happened to me, and sometimes they were actually very funny. Well, I had something that happened recently, and I thought about making it into a video and putting it on one of my channels. Now, I'm not sure. I don't think the scam baiting community that watches my scam baits would care about my stupid little story. So I may if I actually do make the video, I may put it on my my other channel, the comics channel. But we'll see. I actually like kind of rehearsed what I was going to say to one of my customers. He was sitting down, we were talking. I said, let me tell you the story. And I told him the story, and he actually added additional context to it, which I think is hilarious. But it was just a funny story. And it's one of those things I want to share. I want to tell people about, but you guys in the scam community probably wouldn't care, but I just thought it was funny. But needless to say, I'm thinking about expanding my videos on my other channel to include some of these stupid stories. So we'll see what happens. Hold on a second. ADY says, Drew, are you a soccer fan? Nope, I know absolutely nothing about soccer. Manuel says he's a big fan of soccer. ADY says, come to England for a Euro final. Actually, the Jags have been playing over in the UK. They play there. I think they're going to 2 games a year, because I think they played 2 games last year, and I think they'll play 2 games this year. But because we're going to do there's a big stadium renovations happening here in Jacksonville, so there's a good chance they'll probably be playing in the UK more in the coming years, because I think it's a 2-year plan to renovate the stadium. We're getting what they call the Stadium of the Future, and taxpayers are paying for a big chunk of it. It happens, but it's okay. But yeah, I probably wouldn't watch soccer, but I definitely watch football. So our football. Darlene says, son is on Social Security to bend to their office more than I care to admit, or I have to. More than I have cared to. Laugh out loud. Okay. Yeah, my dad has that same problem with the Veterans Administration here in Jacksonville. He'll tell you he's been there many times and not a big fan. ADY says, great Manuel. Which team do you support? Christina says, what is your other channel? It's just Misfit Corner Comics. It's Misfit Corner and then Comics. It's the hat I wear while I'm at work. And notice how both hats have spots of white. It's because I'm an idiot who didn't wear just one single hat when he was painting in his store. So I've marked up several of my hats. Oh, well. But yeah, Misfit Corner Comics. And I was so ashamed when I posted my most recent video there that I hadn't done videos since like January. I'm really behind on doing regular videos on that channel. So if you want to check it out, go for it. It's me and myself doing my thing. ADY says, I support Burnley in England. Okay. Glenn says, email sent July 6th, just resent it now. Okay, I'll double check. Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate it. ADUI says the 50 years, for 50 years this year, Emmanuel. Emmanuel says, yes, Eagles play tomorrow afternoon versus Spain. Really? The English play tomorrow. Why did I say Eagles? God, that's me reading stuff and not realizing. Yeah. Yes, English play tomorrow afternoon versus Spain. Christina says, that one time you told us you were going to tell us what the job was that you were retired from. I missed it. Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you some details without going into a lot of details. But, when you call your doctor's office and you speak to somebody on the phone and you set up your appointment, you may not be talking to somebody actually in the doctor's office. You may actually be talking to somebody at a phone center. And I worked for a company that did appointments for doctors. But what's so funny is the offices where we took the calls are here in Florida. All the doctor's offices that we scheduled appointments for were in New York City. It had to do a lot with location, whereas I don't know why Florida just has a better place to have a phone center. Now, I did not take calls and I did not schedule appointments. I did analytics for them. I did forecasting, like call forecasting and analytics. And before I left the company, I was very heavily into building SQL databases and doing reporting, creating reports, online reports for the company and for the managers and for the agents and so forth, where they could go in and see their stats and their scorecard, and they could see the forecasts and stuff like that. So I was involved in the creation of a lot of that stuff. But honestly, it was spending 7.5 hours a day staring at this goddamn computer that was just killing me. And so that's what the job was. And the reason why I didn't want to go into any details before is because I didn't want any scammers out there to try to, reach out to people at my company. And, because, I have a tendency to piss people off, especially scammers, and they could take it out on me, So yeah, but now if they do it, it's not going to matter. I'm not there anymore. But here's the sad part: as I tell you guys all about my store all the time, and so if a scammer wants to come to my store and screw with me, bring it on, buddies. Bring it on. I'm here. Aaron says it's been interesting in your. I'd be interested in your stories here. Well, I will probably share some because they happen all the damn time. I told you guys about my panicking about talking to people in public. The story that I was going to tell about, and I'm still working on fleshing, fine tuning some of it, has a lot to do with talking to people in public, and you know it's one of those things. But I told you guys about that story. So Sarah says, when are we meeting Jen? Oh, she right now she's relaxing in the living room, working on a craft project, and probably surrounded by cats. So I told her, I said, honey, you can watch my live stream on the TV out in the living room. You have the YouTube app. And she's kind of like, I can hear you well enough in the living room. I don't think she's ever seen a single one of my scam videos. Now, she's been with me when I've done a conversation with a scammer, and she hates them. She absolutely hates them because she's like, there have been times where I'll yell, scream, holler, and curse, and she's just like rolling her eyes. But I don't know, maybe one day. I think you guys have met my daughter before. My daughter's been here at least once that I know of. And my son, he's always working, so he's barely ever over here when I'm doing something like this. So they're around. They may pop in. ADY says Jacksonville Jaguars are owned by Tony Khan. Drew, we also owns AEW Wrestling and Fulham FC. They're owned by Shad Khan. I think Tony is his son. So they own a lot of companies. So that's a really good possibility. Manuel says next month football preseason. Really, we're almost up to preseason. Hot damn! I don't know if you guys can hear it. You hear that popping noise in the background? That means there's idiots out there setting off fireworks. Today's what, the 13th? Guys, you missed July 4th by 9 days. What do you? Oh well. I am oftentimes surrounded by some crazy rednecks who like to pop off fireworks 9 days after July 4th. Clifford says, my grandmother lived until she was 103. Wow. Died in 2006. She would have had fun with the scammers if they were around. She had her marbles until she was around 101. Wow. That's crazy. Well, I hope you got to see her as much as possible. 103. That's a long time. Manuel says, I support Spain. Okay. Burr says, I'm now starting to get more PCH calls. After a while, he asked me if I was going to do with what I was going to do with my winnings. And I said I would help places like Jamaica by opening all call centers, helping people with who win money. That's hilarious. What did they say? Because that's hilarious. Very good. I haven't gotten the Publishers Clearinghouse calls. I haven't gotten one of those in a long time. So they probably removed my number, which is crazy because most scammers never do. Burr says he suddenly went quiet. The scammer did. Very good. Manuel says, where's my friend Avery? I hope he's doing good. He's probably playing video games and forgot what day it is. It happens. Sarah says, wow, sounds like a really interesting job, Drew. Well, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I told my boss when I gave him my notice, I said, this has nothing to do with you or the job or the company or the people I work with. Nothing. It's just, I need to step away from this job. And he was asking me about doing contract work, maybe going part-time. And I said, none of that will fix the problem of how bad my vision has gotten over the years, staring at a computer all day long. And my wife is like, well, you still sit in front of a computer most of the day long. I said, yeah, that's true, but I don't have to. I don't have to sit here 7.5 hours. I can get up in the morning and go to the store, do some stuff, run some errands, do this, you sit in front of the computer for an hour and walk away. I can get out of here. I don't have to sit in front of the computer. That is a huge, huge difference in my life right now. I don't have to sit here in front of this computer. Sometimes I do, but I don't have to. So it's one of the big differences. Sarah says, do you have a picture of Jen? Actually, where is that? I have a picture. I meant to show my mother-in-law. Where is it? It's in the car. It's in the car. Okay. I'm going to tell you this quick story because I think it's funny. But my wife's grandmother was the one who was diagnosed with onset dementia, couldn't live alone anymore. And Jen and I actually moved in with her to help take care of her. And we lived with her for about just a little under a year until it got to the point where her dementia had gotten so bad we could not handle her anymore. And my mother-in-law had to put her in a home for people with dementia. And she was there for several years until she passed. But at the time when we were there, we were going through some stuff and I found a picture of my wife from high school. And I look at that picture and I go, damn, how did I get that girl? How did this nerd, this creepy, how did he land this hot chick? And she was hot. I loved her. And when she said yes, I'm like, yes, I'm in it for life. Well, on the back of the picture, my wife's grandmother had wrote Jennifer before Fat Andrew. Part of me was devastated. Part of me was like, that's what she really thought of me. I mean, I haven't always been fat, guys. When I was in high school, I was actually kind of thin, kind of skinny. I didn't have big gut, and this is good. This gut's from good eating. My wife was a cook, and she's good eating, but she must not have liked me at some point in her mind. But in the end, during those 8 months, I was the one person who was there taking care of her. And I think she realized that, she probably never would have wrote that. But then again, whatever. Dementia is a shitty disease. It's a horrible disease. And honestly, but it's a great picture of her from high school. So next time I'll have to find what I did with it. I'm pretty sure I left it in the car. I'll have to find it. Oh, wait. I do have. Oh, damn it. No, it's on my other computer. Oh, crap. I did have a picture of the three of us. Hold on. Of my wife and I. Hold on. I am going to multitask real quick. This was a picture that I shared when my daughter graduated from high school. Let's see. All right, I got to find the picture real quick and then upload it to my Dropbox and then grab it on my other computer. And so I'll keep talking to you guys while I'm doing this. And what it was is I graduated from my high school in 1992. My wife graduated a year later in 93, and our daughter went to the same school and graduated from the same high school that she and I went to, I think in 2012 or 2013. I don't remember exactly, but so what I had done is I had put our three graduation pictures together, and what it said was it was a picture of me, and it said plus a picture of my wife equals, and then it was a picture of our daughter. So let me find it real quick. Let's see. I can barely see the screen up there. Let's see. Desktop. Where is that picture? It's a great picture. I meant to share it with you guys before. All right, hold on. Where is that picture? Oh, there it is. What is the name of the picture? It says screenshot. Okay. Let's do. Sorry, guys. I know this makes for great internet. Screenshot 2000. Of course, I can't see it. All right, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm really trying really hard to do this. Let me rename the name of the picture. That way I can find it quicker. I'm having a hard time seeing my screen. It's rather high up. And my glasses are good for seeing what's in front of me, not for seeing what's across the room. All right, here we go. All right. Uploading picture to the Dropbox. It's one of the things I've had to do recently with my old computer is in order to get files from the old computer, larger files from the old computer to the new computer, is I just put them in my my Dropbox and then open up the Dropbox on my new computer. And then there you go. All right, so give me a second. Let's see, there it is. We're going to, whoops. I don't want to delete, I want to download. There we go. So it's downloading now. All right. Sorry, guys. All right, let me go back to the chat and just catch up on the chat real quick. ADUI says, Emmanuel, what's your team? He said he was going for Spain. Christina says, my horses hate fireworks. Okay. I hope that's not that ends up not being a bad thing. Sarah says, never met your kids. Oh, I thought my daughter was here at one point, but anyway. Hitomi says, you have a cat? We have 6. We have 6 of them. Manuel says, Burst, awesome. ADY says, Manuel, which club team do you like, Liverpool or Man City? Manuel says, I watch Man City and Liverpool European soccer. Okay. BB says, Hitomi, Drew has several cats. Yes, I do. ADY says, which team do you support, Manuel? Bill says, sad, I went through that with my mother. Christina says, Hitomi, are you the anime Hitomi Yoshida? Burst says, I would love for my 109-year-old great aunt to take a scam call. By the time she finishes going off on them, they'd regret that their folks gave birth to them. That's hilarious. Hitomi says, I only have one. Got right after he was born 78 years ago. Okay, well, we have 6. ADY says, laugh out loud to births. BB says to Hitomi, I have a cat. I had 2, but had to send one over to the Rainbow Bridge back in 2021. I miss him so much. I still have his sister, Roezi, maybe. His name was Wade, and he was 13 years old. That's pretty good life for a cat. 13 years? Wow. Burr says, I know, right? She doesn't hold her tongue. Sarah says, my mom had dementia. My siblings put her in a dementia home. She was beaten once by the nurses. I hated that place. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, the first place that my mother-in-law put her in, they just couldn't handle her at some point because she was very, very physically active to the point where she actually tried to go out the door, and they actually found her and brought her back into the home. And then after that, they transferred to her a place where she couldn't get out, which we could never lock the door and force her to stay in the house. We just couldn't do that, but they legally can where we couldn't. So, sometimes that's what you got to do. Darlene says, my father had Alzheimer's. We had to put him in a veteran's home for the last year of his life. It's very, very sad, but it happens. BB says to Sarah, how awful. I'm so glad this happened. I'm so sorry that happened to your mom. Tarkov says, I think the scammers are related to call list are related to call lists. I only receive PayPal emails, don't respond, and was dropped. Didn't respond to 2 Social Security Administration calls. Haven't heard from them. Well, I try to answer every single call that I get. I try very hard. Darlene says, so sorry to Sarah. Manuel says, very sorry, to Sarah. Hitomi says to Christina, not at my age, but my kids are into anime. Okay. Christina says, Sarah, did you get law involved? ADY says, I used to work at an old people's home back in the early 90s and had to look after mainly the men, and it was ashamed to see them all go downhill very fast. In some places, it happens very quickly. Whoop. Tarkor says, messed with a gift card caller and got my texts now infected with your types of calls. Oh wow, sorry. Christina says to Hitomi, there's a famous anime person in Japan by your name. Okay. BB says Rosie is now 16. Wade was her littermate. Okay, see, I figured it out eventually. Hitomi says, definitely it's not me. Okay. And then last but not least, Sarah says, thanks to B. All right. Okay, so let me show you this picture real quick. Now that I've downloaded it. Let's see. Where is it at? I think this was, if I remember correctly, this is the picture that I put on Facebook. Present screen. Window. Oh, wait. Oh. I forgot. I got to actually open the picture up. All right. I guess that's a decent size. Hold on. This is the announcement that we put out when my daughter graduated. Let's see. Share. Chrome has lost permission to capture a screen to fit in. All right. Screw that. Let's do this. It's asking for permissions to open something, and I'm going to try to get around that real quick. All right, there we go. So what I did is I put it in a Google screen. That way it's different from opening up an application. All right, share. Okay. All right, let me see if I can make this bigger. Maybe not. All right, there we go. Hopefully you can see that better. So that's it. First picture is me. This is my graduation picture. Douglas Anderson School of the Arts, class of 1992. Plus, this is my wife, Jennifer. Douglas Anderson School of the Arts, class of 1993. And then equals, and that is our daughter, who is class of 2013. Okay, so she was 20 years after Jennifer, 21 years after me. But my one of my daughter's favorite stories was there was a teacher who taught both me and my wife when we were there. And she also taught our daughter. It was an art history teacher. And she just one time described our daughter to somebody as the perfect combination of her father and her mother, but with great hair. And my daughter was like, yeah, I like that. That's a good one. Oh, guess who's here? What's up, man?
Hey, I passed out.
It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry, guys.
Everybody was concerned, and I said he's probably playing video games or something.
No, I was unconscious.
Oh goodness. Well, I'm glad you're still here. Glad you're here. But we've been talking about lots of different stuff. But they were asking about seeing Jen or the kids, and I said they don't care about my channel. They don't care about this at all.
Yeah.
And I was reminiscing about my wife in our younger years and how I consider myself very lucky to have gotten her, and don't know how it actually happened. And I had that one picture I had to share from our graduations. So yeah. That's so now you're caught up. You're all caught up.
I fell asleep, and I just now I haven't been awake too long, but I just now realized what time it was. I was like, oh crap.
Well, it's all right. Sorry. By the way, in case you hadn't heard, Dr. Ruth passed away. Richard Simmons passed away, and there was an assassination attempt on Trump.
Yeah. That I've caught up on.
Okay.
That's probably what got.
I wasn't aware of two of those three things. So everybody here. Yeah.
That's probably what got my attention, and I didn't realize what time it was. I was like looking at that stuff. Then I realized, I was like, oh crap, it's 9:00. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, So now we're going to wrap up anyways.
Okay, sorry, man.
All right. Let me see if there's anything else.
Okay.
One more quick one. Tattle says, scammers told me the call was recorded. I asked what happened to the recording after I hung up. Scammer hung up without comment. That's good. Christina says, my daughter has beautiful eyes. Yes, she does. She's very beautiful. I love her. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, Avery, thank you for joining, but we're going to go ahead and wrap up now. I got work to do. Well, I was telling them earlier that I have a USB drive that I keep my inventory on for the store, and then when I go to the store, I put the files on the drive and I take it to the store, so I have the most up-to-date file. Well, I forgot my zip drive. I forgot the USB drive this morning, so I had to use last week's inventory, which of course was not up to date. And because I didn't have the drive to bring home, I just had to bring the whole computer home. And I literally had the whole computer sitting in front of me, and I'm downloading the file, and I look up and it says 7:59, and I went, crap. So I started the evening late. Not as late as that one time, but
yeah.
Needless to say, now you're caught up. Because I know you're not going to go back and rewatch this live stream.
Yeah.
Are you?
No.
All right, everybody out there, I hope you all have a fantastic week. I hope everybody stays safe. Stay away from some stupid rednecks doing fireworks, because we still got them here. And remember,
don't disparage my people.
Well, you're not here doing it, so it's the 13th. Yeah. You shouldn't be out there popping off fireworks on the 13th of July. Really. But they are. They're out there doing
America.
Oh my gosh, I wonder if they're celebrating because of what happened to Trump. No, I don't think so. That's his people are the one out there putting on.
Yeah. They're happy he made it.
They're happy he's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's already getting Teddy Roosevelt comparisons.
Oh, goodness. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. And remember, as I always say, if you get calls like the ones I get, either hang up on them or screw with them like I do. And if you do screw with them, try to record it and share it with everybody. Remember the golden rule: screw and share. All right, everybody. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week. Hope you have a weekend and have a fantastic week. And we will catch you next time.
Later.
Bye, everybody.